Yes, this act is haram, and one who is addicted to it and doesn't do anything to refrain from it and dies without repentance is rejected in the court of Allah. And to commit this sin in the blessed month of Ramadan whilst fasting, that is asking for the wrath of Allah. One of the tenets of fasting is to refrain from sexual desires and temptation. So if someone has committed this sin out of negligence, must make immediate tawbah and study and implement our tazkiyah course, our self-purification course, to learn how to control the desires. However, if one is fasting and commits this sin of masturbation to the point of inzal, to the point of ejaculation, then that will invalidate the fast. And one will have to make up for that fast by keeping one fast after Ramadan. And this is called qada, but there is no kafara. It will not incur an expiation or an additional penalty. The fast will be nullified. One must make immediate tawbah and perform the obligatory ritual ghusl. Bathe immediately and make qada of that fast by keeping one fast after the month of Ramadan. And when I said that it will only invalidate the fast if ejaculation or inzal takes place, the meaning of inzal is the discharge of semen. Generally, males experience 4 kinds of emissions or discharges from the genitals. The first is urine, and the second one is called madhiy. Third is maniy, and the fourth is wadiy. Now, al-madhiy is the pre-ejaculatory fluid, which is released when one is aroused, when one is in the state of shahwa, before ejaculation or before the emission of semen or sperm. Madhiy is a white, thin, watery and a sticky fluid. Now this pre-ejaculatory fluid, it comes out before the ejaculation of semen. This is called madhiy. And maniy is semen, which is a white, thick substance, and that is released at the time of ejaculation. And wadiy, which can be called prostatic fluid, this is a white, cloudy substance, which has no smell, and this is usually emitted after passing urine and sometimes before passing urine. So this is usually after the sexual intercourse has taken place, and then one passes urine after that. So after passing urine, one may feel the emission of wadiy, and sometimes during ghusl, one may see the emission of this substance, which is called wadiy. So these are the 4 kinds of discharges: urine, madhiy, maniy, wadiy. Now, according to the Islamic law, how does one differentiate between maniy, between semen, and madhiy, the pre-ejaculatory fluid, and wadiy, the prostatic fluid? So remember, when maniy comes out, when semen comes out, the excitement or the passion is decreased. The shahwa or the desire is cooled after the emission of semen, which is called maniy in Arabic. Whereas when madhiy is discharged, it doesn't decrease the excitement, it increases the desire and the shahwa. And also maniy is a thick white substance, and when it is discharged, it gushes out of the genitals. Whereas madhiy, which comes out before the ejaculation of the semen, that is a thin fluid which doesn't pour out like the semen. And wadiy is that substance which comes out after, when one passes urine, and mostly after passing urine and sometimes before passing urine. And this is necessary knowledge for every Muslim. Remember, if one has committed the sin of masturbation, it is only the emission of the maniy which breaks the fast. The emission of madhiy and wadiy do not break the fast. According to some Maliki scholars, madhiy also invalidates the fast. But in the Hanafi school, madhiy does not invalidate the fast. Now, if someone commits the sin of masturbation, but stops this evil act before inzal, before the emission of the semen, if one stops before ejaculation, even though the fast will not be invalidated, the fast will still be valid, but this person has committed a haram act and will be sinful, and he has deprived himself from the blessings of the fast. So immediate repentance, immediate tawbah is wajib upon that person. It's an obligation upon that person. And this is something that every Muslim should know. This is necessary knowledge for every Muslim. And it is shocking to see how many young Muslims and elderly Muslims are unaware of these basic masail of Islam. This is the responsibility of the parents, and this is an obligation upon the parents to teach their children, either teach them themselves or send them to the people of knowledge. So another important mas'ala to remember is that the way passing urine breaks wudu, in the same way madhiy and wadiy, they will break the wudu, but the emission of madhiy and wadiy will not necessitate ghusl. One will only be in the state of major impurity with the emission of maniy, with the emission of semen. So the ritual bathing, ghusl, is only necessitated by the emission of maniy. It is fard, it is an obligation to perform ghusl after the ejaculation of maniy. And masturbation will only break the fast when Maniy comes out. All forms of masturbation are haram and one is rejected in the court of Allah Jalla wa Ala, and especially in the state of Sawm, whilst fasting. A believer will never commit this sin, but the commission of this sin will only break the fast with the ejaculation of semen.